Today's essential question is, what are the parts of speech? The first part of speech we're going to talk about are nouns. A noun names a person, a place, or a thing. So an example of a person could be Tommy or boy. A place could be school or a park. And things could be baseballs, ideas, earthquakes. So in this sentence, Tommy saw the basketball. There are two nouns. The first one is Tommy because he is a person. And the second one is basketball because basketballs are things. Our second part of speech are pronouns. Pronouns replace nouns in a sentence. So any word that can replace a noun is a pronoun. Some examples are he, me, it, I, they, and those. So instead of saying Johnny drew the car, where Johnny would be a noun, you can replace Johnny with he and say he drew the car, which means that he is a pronoun. Our third part of speech are adjectives. Adjectives describe nouns. They answer one of three questions. They could answer what kind. So for example, a big car or a small car. They can answer how many, 2 cars, many cars, or they can answer how much, several cars. So in these three examples, big, 2, and several are adjectives. Our next part of speech are verbs. Verbs show action or state a fact. Every complete sentence has a verb. So any action would be a verb. Hit, is, ran, jumped, danced, saw. So in this sentence, Tommy saw the basketball. Saw is a verb because it is something that Tommy did. Our next part of speech are adverbs. Adverbs describe verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. So earlier we said that adjectives describe nouns, but adverbs can describe verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. They answer one of 4 questions. How? So could be angrily, could be happily, could be joyously. They answer when, later, tomorrow, sometime. They can answer where, closely, nearby, or they can answer to what extent, to or very. Many adverbs, especially the how adverbs, end in the suffix ly. Angrily, happily, joyously, cautiously. But just because a word ends with ly does not necessarily mean it is an adverb. It's just a good guess. Next part of speech are prepositions. Prepositions connect one word in a sentence to another word in the sentence. She walked into the room. I like to think of prepositions as anywhere a mouse can go, under the rug, into the room, across from the hole, beneath the cupboard, above the yarn. All of these words are prepositions. So in this example, into is the preposition. In is a preposition, above is a preposition, near and at are also prepositions. Conjunctions are connecting words. That one's easy to remember because they both start with C-O-N. Examples could be and, but, or however. Interjections are words or groups of words that express emotion. An exclamation point should always follow an interjection. These are some examples of interjections that could be one-word sentences. Wow, ouch, oh my goodness, why, hooray. So this week we are adding something new to your notes. And this week we will have 5 vocabulary words. Each week you'll have 5 words that you're expected to be able to define, use in a sentence, and spell. This will be part of your quiz on Friday. You will have to know how to spell these words. So, vocabulary word number 1 this week is explain. To tell the reason for or the cause of. So if I was explaining something, I would tell you why it happened. It is a verb, and our example sentence says, on the test, I had to explain why the comma belonged in the sentence. Our second vocab word is weight. Weight is a measurement that tells how heavy an object is. Weight is on this list more for the spelling aspect than the vocab aspect. Weight is one of those words that is frequently misspelled because the E becomes before the I. If you can spell 8, the number, all you have to do is put a W before it. So, 8, and then we can go back in and add a W. It is a noun. And in science, we found the weight of a rock by using a scale. Vocabulary word number 3 is relief. A pleasant or relaxed feeling a person feels when a painful or unpleasant thing stops. It is a noun. So the aspirin provided some relief from my headache. So my headache stopped because of the aspirin and I felt a little bit better. Our next word is government. Government is a word that you're probably using in social studies. It means a system used to organize and control a country, state, or city. It is a noun. In our sentence, the government of North Korea prohibits citizens from leaving the country. Be careful spelling this one because many students miss the N that comes before the M. Mortars are a type of cannon. This is a noun. It's also one of the words that you'll see in Long Walk to Water. Mortars were essential to the war. This is the end of this presentation. You have completed today's notes. Please write your 20-word summary. Make sure you've labeled today's notes with Quarter 1, Week 2, today's date, and today's essential question. Those can be found on the first slide of this presentation. Then, place today's notes inside the prongs of your grammar folder behind all the previous sets of notes. Bring these notes with you to class on Monday and we will practice what you have learned in this presentation.